Back here on Friday night, main event from Chapel Hill, Tennessee. We're at The Rock, Forest High School. Ought to be a great football game tonight. We got the Cascade champions, Coach Kenny Parker, and that guy, Creed Rose, 245, 6'1", coming in here. He may win that Nationwide Express Big Hall of the Game award tonight.
I bet you old Howard Stone would like to have him on the sidelines.
You reckon?
The Columbia Lions.
We got Howard Stone. Howard?
Coach, you with us?
I'm here. I'm still here, and you're reporting.
You headed up I-65 on that bus, Coach?
Well, we're trying to do 55. 65 there, Chris is going to kick in. Hey, I'll tell you what. I remember a long time ago when I was over at Cascade coming to Chapel Hill. We played over there one night, and the thermometer on the bank said 105.
I wouldn't doubt it not saying that tonight.
It feels like it's close to that today. Coach, you guys are headed up to Dixon County tonight, am I right?
Yes, sir. We're headed up there to take on the 6A Dixon County High School. They got beat last week, and they're going to be mad, and they're going to take it out on somebody tonight.
Hey, Coach, last week Shelbyville looked really impressive against Marshall County. Lincoln County was down 28-0 at the half to Giles County before Mountain and Near comeback. And also, Coach Olive had a lead at the half of, I believe, 25-8 and lost a late lead. Of those three teams, who do you feel, has probably the best opportunity of knocking you guys off your throne in District 8?
Well, Shelbyville sitting there undefeated. They did play pretty good. Tullahoma played awful good last Friday night, except, they kind of lost their focus there in the fourth quarter and let them come back and get them. And I think all three of those teams have a great opportunity to knock us off as district champs. Right now, we're not taking anybody lightly. And, buddy, let me tell you, all three of them are fine football teams and fine coaches coaching them.
I'm going to tell you what, Coach, you got by a fine football team last week. You went double overtime against the Lawrence County team. I know they finished winning 5 of the last 7 last year just to squeak into the playoffs. Coach Marston seems to have that program headed in the right direction over there.
We were very fortunate to come out in overtime to win because, that second half, they outplayed us. And, boy, I'm going to tell you what, he's got a good fullback that can run the football. And we gave up close to 300 yards of rushing last Friday night. And then the old defensive coordinator, that really bothers me.
They didn't sit next to you on the bus, did they?
Yeah. But, we've gotten better. We've got a few kids back that have been hurt. And I think that's really going to help us tonight. And we had a real good week of practice.
Coach, you guys headed up to Dixon County to face my old buddy, Coach Williams. I think he's got 10 returners off the team from last year. I think three of them on offense. The rest of them were on defense. I think senior Otis Geron is probably the headliner over there. They lost a close game to 4A Creekwood this week. Is it safe to say that he's probably in rebuilding mode, kind of like you guys are this year?
Yeah, when you lose a rivalry game there in town, it's not a good week for you. And he's got kids coming back. He's got a good running back coming back, good quarterback. They're pretty solid up front, both offensively and defensively. It's going to take, if we come out with a win, it's going to take every bit of effort that we can have and love. So, he's that good.
Coach, we talked to you a little earlier, about a couple of weeks ago, I guess, and we talked about all the players that you lost. Tell us some of the skill players that you have this year that you're relying on.
Well, I think, we lost a couple of awful good kids, and yes, I did cry at graduation 1-4. So, we've got Ivari Wisner back at running back and receiver. We've got Mario Williams back at running back, and we've got Hayden Love, who has been on the injury reserve list at quarterback, and he's working his way back in. We've got some pretty good kids up front, Stephen Prenzo, Jason Cameron, Maurice Johnson, the big kids that we can count on. And then on defense, we have our standby always there, Maverick Dickinson back, and, and, of course, Jackson Harris back on offense defense. And we've got some good kids that can replace them, but it's going to take a number of kids to replace them. One kid can't replace the ones that we lost, but they're working towards that goal.
Coach, I know you guys had a scrimmage against Ensworth earlier in the preseason. I think they went up and knocked off number 2 team in the country in Trinity, Kentucky last week. So I don't think you can use the lack of talent as an excuse this year. So you're going to have to show what you're made of this year.
Well, like I told you when we come back from that scrimmage, we went up there wanting for effort and to bring the fight to them. And I think it wound up, they beating us by 2 touchdowns. But, they scored 2 touchdowns. We scored 1. But the thing about it is we took the fight to them. And I tell you what, it makes me feel pretty good. They go up there and beat Trinity because I got some buddies that coach in Kentucky, and they have to play Trinity about every year. And it's not a good treat from time to time. So I'm glad Ensworth went up, was able to beat them. And, yes, we do have talent. It's just, we've got to get that talent in the right spot, doing the right thing at the right time.
Coach, I know you guys made it to the final last year. It went up against probably the best player in high school this and last year, and Jalen Hurd. I guess you heard about him being out for the rest of the season. Does it make you feel any better knowing there's nobody down the line that's going to run for 400 yards on you again this year?
Well, you don't know that yet.
I'm just picking at you, buddy.
I
had to get a shot in somewhere.
I'm trying to lay the groundwork where somebody else don't feel it's a challenge. This year going out, I hate it for him. He made our night bad up there at Cookville, but he's a good kid, good running back, and I hate it for him. I hate it for Coach Crabtree and Beach because you lose a kid like that, it's more than just a running back. It's a team leader, a good guy in general. And I hate to see him get hurt, but, like I told my team, and now this is a bad thing. This is a bad thing. I shouldn't say it. Boy, I wish you'd have done this last year. But, Henry County's sitting out there waiting on us. Knoxville West is out there waiting for us. A couple of teams out of Chattanooga, Cleveland, and Hampton are all out there waiting on us, and you don't know what's on East Tennessee on the mountainside, but there's somebody out there who's waiting on us, and we're waiting on them also to have a good playoff game to get into that finals and take on whoever comes to play. I mean, our goal every year is to get in that final and see what happens. We like playing in the district. We like winning in the district, but you know what? It is nothing like going to Cookville and playing in the big game.
Go ahead.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to revert back real quick, getting off track for sure, but with the Cascade game you mentioned earlier, you said you spent time at Cascade, and I believe Hal Skelton probably was your principal then. Well, my dad, Barry Bennett, I believe he was there at the time as well, if you remember him at all. Yes, my question for you with Chapel Hill Cascade, was to Cascade back then, was that their biggest rivalry? Was it Moore County? I mean, was it kind of equal?
It was Chapel Hill because we were close. It was Moore County too, but we had some big battles over there at Chapel Hill and Moore County too. Yeah, they're all big battles.
Coach, I got a question. Kenny Parker's fate this year. He had to go all the way up to 3A. He's having to play teams that ordinarily he wouldn't even think about playing.
CPA, Giles County.
What kind of situation? You're a coach. What kind of situation does that cause for you?
Well, I feel missed for Coach Parker, but you're stepping up, like he said, playing with big boys. You've got to. It takes you a year, 2 or 3, to get ready to play at that level. I mean, you got good kids. You can compete with them, but all of a sudden, instead of them having 2 or 3 real good kids, they got 8 or 9. And the speed of the game and what they try to do is really different.
Depth is a big factor too.
They've got their work cut out for them. It takes even a good team, a really good team, a little bit of time to get in that playing at that level.
Well, Coach, we wish you luck tonight. You're one of our favorites. You know that. And if you wind up on the sidelines for that state tournament final, we're going to be there. You know that.
Calling plays.
Well, like I told you last year, if we make it, you're going to be there with us.
Yes,
right,
sir.
And we get to call a play, right?
Yes, sir. You get to call 2 of them.
Yes,
One
sir.
on
Tell Troy Williams we said hi to Doug when you see him tonight.
Oh, I sure will.
Coach, thanks for
Good
joining
luck
us.
to you guys.
Good
Thank
luck
you,
to you,
sir.
buddy.
Yes,
Good luck
sir,
to you.
bye.
We'll talk to you next week.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
All right. One of our favorites,
If
Howard
you don't
Stone.
like Howard Stone, something
You just don't like football, do you? You just don't